contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised. Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew.
I'm not modeling anymore for the two of you.
Loveline. Yep, it is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician and addiction medicine specialist. Tonight, our guest is Rosebudd. He's a ex-pimp or still working as a pimp?
Ex-pimp.
Ex-pimp, who's featured in the documentary American Pimp. Drew had him on drdrew.com.
So,
maybe,
the webcast.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks.
I could have had him interviewed at dr.com. He was on the webcast at dr.com.
Yeah. What else could you have done with him?
Just interviewed him. He could have been on dr.com, but he was on the show.
All right, but you had him on. See, that was the operative phrase.
Whatever.
All right, so
we got to get together.
Thanks for
last night sucked.
Thanks for here's the reality. Every time I start pedaling the bike, you put a mop handle between the spokes, and I go flying over the handlebars.
What did
you just quiet down over there?
Philosopher Warrior, tell me was the essential quality that successful people must have, the key to life?
Shutting up.
No, what is it?
I don't know. I'm too tired.
Taking responsibility, not blaming other people for everything that happens to you.
Just shut up. I was on a roll here with Rosebudd. All right, so he was interviewed on the webcast of drdrew.com, which is incorporated, the name, right? It's a trademark. And we decided to bring him in because Drew obviously had a stimulating time with him. So I haven't seen the documentary, but I think it's something that's interesting to just about everybody, this lifestyle, especially white guys, because I don't think we can pimp. I don't know.
White guys can't jump,
and we can't.
White guys can't pimp.
We can't pimp, and also I want to talk about Rosebudd has a tattoo parlor out in Inglewood called Taz Playa Tattoos, right? Taze. Sorry, yeah. See, that's the white guy coming through again. Going to put a little slash over the A. I want to talk about tattoos for just 1 second, because I'm noticing more and more black guys getting tattoos, especially when I'm watching the NBA games. And I said to a friend of mine the other day, and I know I'm not the only guy who's thought of this, but some of the guys, the dark-skinned black guys, it doesn't show up that well. And I thought, couldn't you go with a different color ink? I mean, could you go with white ink?
Well, color ink, red, blue, green, those different colors, the pigments in your skin will sort of eat those away after time, and they fade.
It doesn't work. And is there any such thing as a white ink tattoo?
White ink is used in a lot of tattoos. And it's used for highlighting.
Will it hold up?
It'll hold up, but it won't actually look white.
Oh, it'll turn a different color when
it depends on what skin it's on, but on black skin, it gets a little, like, grayish.
Right. Yeah, I'm telling you, because I really have to stare hard at some of those tats to try to figure out what they are.
Well, it's not necessarily the tat. It's because it's black ink on black skin.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. And we got to work that out.
Not necessarily.
No?
Well, I mean, if you want a tattoo, which a lot of people do want everybody to be able to recognize their tattoo from, let's say, a mile off, if that's the case. But then you get a bigger tattoo if you're black, because tattoos are personal things to a lot of people. And a lot of people don't really want people to just notice them. Some people with all of their skin, the sleeves, the backs, the full, all of that, they want anybody to see them. So those people mostly have tattoos that are, like, really visible. But you have a lot of people that have tattoos that you don't know have tattoos because it's covered up, and they only want the special person to see it.
Yeah, I wouldn't get one unless I wanted everyone to see it. I would never do anything for me. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those guys.
Yeah. Being an ex-pimp, I'm pretty selfish.
Yeah, now, so let's talk about being an ex-pimp. When did you get started? How old were you?
20.
20. And how old are you now?
47.
So it was quite some time ago.
Right.
And how did you get started?
Well, I started way before I actually started pimping. I was like a hustler. And being a hustler, you'd be around all sorts of hustlers.
Right.
Gamblers, con men, car thieves, drug dealers, and pimps. And all of those hustles require some sort of getting dirty process, if you want to say. The pimp is the only one that was not dirty, and he had what most men lust for, women.
Right.
And he had not only had those women, but he had those women affording him a lifestyle that even most of those hustlers that were really good in what they did couldn't afford.
And when your business was at its peak, how many employees did you have?
Seeing as though I never looked at myself as an employer, I had at at most maybe 7 or 8 hoes, but I kept maybe 4 or 5 at a time.
I see. And now, did you have sex with all of them?
Man, you know I did.
Yeah, okay.
Not at the same time, but I sure did have sex with them. That's the pimp's greatest joy, being able to enjoy his woman.
Yeah. Well, but now, did you ever like one of them? Did you ever fall in love
I
with
married
one of them?
one.
Oh, all right. Well, then I've answered.
Pimped on her 20 years before I married her.
Really?
That's right.
Wow. Drew did the same with his wife. Drew, you only had 15 years, I think, with your wife, didn't you? Wow. So you pimped this. I'll call her Ho. Well, I can't call her Ho now. She's
You
your
can call
wife.
her that. She's not ashamed of it, neither am I.
All right. So she's
Still your wife?
She still is.
You
That's
pimped
right.
this hoe for 20 years, and didn't you know at some point, maybe at year 10, you were in love with her?
Listen, man, when you get a girlfriend, you might not love her that day when you meet her. But very soon after that, if she's going to be all right with you, you love her or you have some love for her. That's the biggest misunderstanding most people have about a pimp and a hoe. They completely forget that they are a man and woman. So once I get this girl, regardless if she's a hoe, regardless if I'm a pimp, as long as what we're doing in the next few days is compatible, we going to like each other.
But at a certain point with this particular one who you ended up marrying, didn't you say, well, man, I'm really into this one. I'm going to pull her off the roster?
She was the worst as far as I used to always have to be on her case.
Yeah, she was...
She was like not the worst hoe, but she was like always doing something that I didn't like. I had a certain way I liked things done. And I'm not saying she challenged me in that regard, but she used to tell me, because I would have a lot of bras, and I wouldn't see her as much as she wanted me to see her. And one of her ways to get me to see her was doing something I didn't like her to do.
Right.
And she would tell me, even this is better than nothing, seeing me. And so I think having to constantly be at her.
Did you have to check her?
That's it.
You checked her.
Checking her doesn't necessarily mean slapping her, though. But I would have to constantly check her, which would keep her sharp.
Right.
If you understand.
No, Drew, you should do a little checking in your relationship. And no, he doesn't mean necessarily slapping. He means checking in like a hockey term, up against the boards, put the shoulder in.
But sometimes it meant slapping.
A lot of times it did.
All right, well, let's not get ugly yet, because I want to figure out a few more details here that involve the business end of this.
So he's passing judgment on checking already.
How much do you get, what percentage do you get as a pimp normally? Or what does the average pimp get?
A real pimp, as far as what he gets, is 100% of what that woman makes every day. And there is, I don't know how you hear that, but if you want to be a pimp, you cannot concentrate on designing cars. Right. You have to concentrate on what it takes to be a pimp.
Yeah, but you get 100%, but obviously you have to feed some back to the hoe, right? So she can live.
This is nothing except, this is all included in your overhead.
So they go out, they do a trick, they make what? What would be the average?
There is no average. There's a fallacy that people believe this 50, 40, 30, 300, 700 is all the same if you're a hoe. $5, 5,000, 5 million, you still sold your pussy.
But, but 5 million you could sell it less, maybe once a week.
It doesn't make you any better than the one that sold for $5. It's just that guy that you was with had 5 million to spend.
Well, okay, but what I'm asking is what would the average hoe, and I know it's hard to get in this average of, I'm just trying to get a ballpark feel. First off, like, how many tricks would one of these girls turn a day, approximately?
If she was turning $50 or $70 tricks and she made $300 or $400, do the math. If she was doing, having $100 tricks, do the math, because they're gonna make $400 or $500 a night. And
so your average hoe that was working for you would make $400 or $500 a night.
Yeah.
All right, and you had 4 or 5 of them working at one time, so you were making some pretty good money.
Well,
yeah, and then you get the money, and you get all the money. But then you got to put them up somewhere. You got to take care of them.
If you got 5 hoes, you got 5 car notes, 5 apartments, 5 problems, 5 periods during a month. You have all sorts of things you have to deal with.
Forgot about that.
No one thinks of. And that's why the average pimp is fat, because he have to eat 5 breakfasts or 5 lunches or more than the average guy would be eating, because you have to see those women during the day.
Did all their periods sync up like when women work together in an office?
No, not necessarily. But I mean, you might have, if you got more than a few women, you might have a couple at the same time, if that's the case. But it didn't stop them from working.
And now, were they just out on the street, or did people contact you?
Well, when you catch somebody initially, they're going to be on the street. And for a long time, they're going to be on the street. But after they was with me for a while, I didn't take them off the street. But they certainly had developed enough people that liked them that they could use the phone periodically if that's the case.
Right.
And whereas one person would have to go out at 3 in the afternoon, they might have to not have to go out until 8 or 9 because they use the phone.
And would they normally go to a certain motel
For what?
for when they were turning a trick?
Nah, man, that's low. Well, I take it back. Yeah, initially they did. There's a certain trick pad, you call it. But I didn't keep them in that because that's where a lot of, a lot of the street problems occur.
Right.
So you want to avoid a lot of that. So you get them apartments.
Their apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I stayed in somebody's trick pad in New York, by the way. It sort of smelled funny. I'm not so sure what went on in there. Any celebrities or politicians or, I mean, what was the average kind of guy? And again, I know it's hard to find an average when we're talking about this, but what I mean is was it a working guy? Was it a rich guy? Or was it just everybody?
Well, I mean, man, think about it. It's sex. What kind of guy wants some sex? Every guy, just like you're saying. So that's who's out there with that situation. It's just that maybe, let's say, I might think, if I want some sex, I might think that, I want to go to a club or something, but these guys might not have no time. I don't know.
Right.
There's no particular reason why, some of them can't catch a girl if that's the case, but I don't think that's the reason most of the dudes that participate in that be doing it. It's not that they cannot get a girl another way. It's just that either they don't want to go through whatever they consider the changes are, or they're in a hurry right now, or this particular girl struck his fancy or something like that.
So you have a lot of repeat customers, right?
Yeah.
All right. All right, let's go to the phones. Rosebudd is our guest tonight. He's featured in American Pimp. It's a documentary. Anderson saw it at the New Art today. Anderson, you want to weigh in here? What'd you think? Did you enjoy it?
It was informative and scary at the same time, as well as very funny at times.
Okay. So go out and see this and learn something. Edward?
I've never heard so much dialogue in a movie, that's for sure.
Edward?
Yeah.
You're 22. What's up?
Well, my girlfriend of about 2.5 years and I, we haven't had sex because her vagina is physically too small. And every time that we try to have sex, there's just too much pain. So she went to her gynecologist probably about a year ago, and she got some vaginal dilators from her and been using those on and off. And I have seen some progress, but really not too much as to where we can get by the pain factor. And I guess my question more for Dr. Drew is this typically a very lengthy process to go through to kind of expand or maybe elasticize the vagina?
Well, Edward, first off, I would look at it as not her vagina being too small, but your penis being too big, regardless of what the gynecologist said. Secondly, she'd make a horrible hoe, this girl. And third, what is a vaginal dilator?
They're like acrylic.
We haven't really talked about that on this show.
No.
Is it something that sort of graduates in size?
Yeah.
And,
yeah, exactly.
It's a set of acrylic cylinders.
Yeah, they're actually she tried the ceramic cylinders at first, and those were too uncomfortable for her, so she went back, and now she has these kind of rubber things. They're pretty much just different sized dildos, if you will.
And she uses those daily, like an exercise, or before you guys have sex?
Well, her doctor has given her instructions to use them 2-3 times a week, or as much as she can stand or feel comfortable with. And they're
Drew does that, but with a butt plug.
yeah, something similar.
Right now.
They put what are you on? Number 4, number 5?
4, how'd you know?
I'd like to see up around 7 or 8 this time next week. 7 or 8's the size of a bleach bottle, by the way. And okay, so she puts lubricant on these things.
Right, yeah.
And then she puts them in her.
Right.
And then does she move them around?
Well, we started incorporating it into our intimacy a little bit.
How come has anybody used the term vaginismus as it pertains to what's happening with her?
Right, that's something that we were concerned with at first, and her gynecologist has ruled that out as a possibility. She just physically, she's a very small girl to begin with. I mean, she's about 5'3", 108 pounds, very petite all over.
So the gynecologist has determined it is merely an anatomic issue.
Right.
All right. So what's happening now?
Well, what's happening is there's I believe there's 4 or 5 sizes, and the first 2 or 3. You know, they start out the size of maybe your pinky finger or a tampon, and they move up from there. She's graduated to about 3 sizes, and it's pretty much just been stuck right there. It hasn't progressed past that. She complains that still a lot of pain, and then the last size, I think there's a lot of fear factoring in too.
Well, but that's vaginismus, when people are anxious and it causes a contraction and discomfort down it. It's a spasm of the muscles down there, and it causes a lot of pain when anxiety is triggering that. So
Right.
it's probably. I wonder if it's some combo here.
All right.
Yeah.
How's her mouth, Edward? Does that work?
Nice. Yeah, oh yeah.
All right, because you'd have to
How's
kill her
your mouth,
otherwise.
Ed?
Yeah, Ed, you're going to have to use your mouth, too.
In fact, I think you don't want to have this woman get pregnant because it will kill her.
Yeah.
This is before a C-section. This one would have died in childbirth, no problem.
Is that what happened
Oh
frequently?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Because of that size of the
It's
canal?
called cephalopelvic disproportion. That'd be it. Pow.
All right.
Death.
I don't know. We don't have any answers for Edward.
No, they've looked into it very carefully. They should continue to pursue it. It seems to me that A, she's not sort of committed to getting over this thing, and B, there's a high level of anxiety associated with what she's experiencing, and they ought to go down the behavioral route a little bit here.
Drew has one of those vaginal dilators on his keychain, by the way.
I am that.
Hey, let me ask Rosebud a question. How many of these guys performed oral sex on your hose? You know, was it a what?
Well, first of all, you got to understand, I didn't go out with them.
I didn't.
So what they really did was between them and whoever they was doing it with. But to my understanding, they don't really do that.
Oh, good. They don't.
They don't let that happen. The girls don't let that
Oh, they don't
happen.
let that?
No.
Yeah, I'd let them do it. If they're paying, why not?
Well, I mean, it's a situation where you don't want a problem.
I understand. Yeah.
Any more than just straight sex, then they get to feeling like they got some sort of relationship going on, then you could have some sort of problem. So
Right.
the girl want to avoid that.
So no kissing either, right?
No.
Why? That's what I like. John? Caller goes by the name of John, who's 17 years old.
And sleeping?
Oh, is he sleeping?
I heard him sleeping.
Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
some breathing going on back there.
Boring.
All right, we'll put John back on hold. Again, no higher compliment can be paid to a talk show host than going to a line and having the guy sleeping. Josh? Oh, sorry. Josh, you're 16.
Hi. My neighbor, who's 30 years old, hits on me, and I just want to know how to get her to stop.
Have you told her to stop?
She comes at me pretty strong.
Have you told her to stop?
No.
Okay. Well, you can start there.
What's wrong with her? You don't like her?
No. I don't go out with 30-year-olds.
You what?
I don't go out with 30-year-olds.
You're ancient, Adam.
Yeah, like Jesus Christ. And yeah, are you a virgin?
Yeah.
You are. So you want to save yourself?
Yeah.
I see.
Well, it's freaking him out a little bit, too.
Yeah.
The neighbor, 3 years old, coming after it's a teenager.
What's she do? Is she drunk when she does this?
No. She sent me emails of herself naked.
Oh, man.
Wow.
You know what? I know how to make her stop. Show your parents.
Well,
That's it.
why does she need to hey, listen, she could just bring them by the house. She lives next door to you. She don't need to email you.
Mm-hmm.
Is she single?
I've seen a guy over there. I'm not sure.
And by the way, just picture what he's looking at, too. It's a 16-year-old who's going, no, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, any 16-year-old guy's going, no thanks. She's pretty nasty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. Guys get real moral. The nastier a woman gets, the more morality a guy gets. You know, I love it. I love it when a guy, like there's some homely chick a guy works with, and the guy's like single, and she's hitting on him, and all of a sudden the guy starts sounding like a chick. Listen, there's nothing wrong with you. It's just I don't mix business with pleasure. I don't want to do. You know, all of a sudden you have these list of rules that would be completely out the window in 1 second if you were attracted to her. You'd be banging her on the boss's desk if she was hot. But all of a sudden, guys start turning into chicks. And I believe women do the same thing, by the way. They get a little convenient. You know, we know each other too well, or we work together. We've been friends. I don't want to jeopardize that. And when women say it, I think we believe it. I think when guys say it, we just either think they're gay or the chick's ugly. Chris?
Yeah.
You're 15. What's up?
I'm obsessed with anal sex, and I want to know how to get it to stop because it really grosses out all the girls I try and get interested in, you know? It's like they're like...
You obsessed with it?
Huh?
You're obsessed with it?
Yeah, that's all I want to do. I don't want to have sex normally. It's just...
What brought that on, you think?
I don't know. I mean, I was never molested.
I like that Rosebud asked that question. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
what causes this?
Yeah, I mean, haven't you had regular sex?
Yeah, I just don't like it.
You would prefer anal sex.
You're 15.
That's what I'm saying.
It means something. That means something.
15 and you're bored, or you just don't enjoy regular intercourse?
It's just no fun for me.
Do you let people play with you like that?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. How absurd a notion. And are your parents together?
Yeah, they are. I have normal parents to some degree, I guess. They're alcoholics, but that's about it.
I see. Is your mom a bit of a ball buster? No?
Nope.
What's she do for a living? Nurse?
No, school bus driver.
Ooh, that's a ball buster. Are you kidding? You have to be like the commandant of a prison camp.
She loves it, actually.
Yeah, I know, because she loves yelling at kids.
She doesn't yell at us.
Listen, that's all you do as a bus driver is yell at
She's a
kids.
stoner, too. I forget about that.
Ooh.
We both are. She kind of got me into it.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
you're building the case. You're sort of giving the sort of...
But I don't do any more than that. I'm not...
Yeah, but Chris, you're sort of giving us the instructions for how to create a kid that's preoccupied with this kind of stuff. Parents are alcoholics. Mom's a ball buster. She's a stoner. She gets
said
you
she's
high.
not a ball buster.
Well, she doesn't get me high. It's just that I've been around it since I was 2.5, and it's always been out laying there, and
What,
Right.
weed?
she leaves it out in the living room, so I just grab onto it, you know.
You talking about marijuana?
All right. So, hey, Chris?
I just want to know how to get it to stop, though. I mean, it's just getting to the point where it's annoying.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have to maybe get a little professional help with this one. I don't know how this one goes away.
You could go to Al-Anon or ACA, Adult Children of Alcoholic, and talk about your feelings, and you'll find other people have various sorts of strange preoccupations or interesting and difficult feelings as a result of having been raised in alcoholic families.
Yeah, but how is he going to... He's not going to stand up at one of these meetings and say, I'm Chris, I'm a cornholer, I'm 15.
No, I don't think so.
What about just trying to not do it when you think of it?
I don't know. I try, but it's just like, it's weird. I just can't stop myself, you know?
You don't force it, though, right?
I really think that it's degradation. The degradation becomes associated with erotic.
Yeah.
And, where does that come from is my question.
Yeah, I always felt that way about the anal sex. For the most part, most guys, it's not so much that they're into it, it's that they're not into the chick, and the chick's not into it, and they're going to show the chick who's boss. That would be extra, though, right? I mean, for one of your hoes?
They wouldn't do that.
They wouldn't do it?
Hell no.
Yeah.
No.
And getting diseases? You have to deal with that, too?
Well, I don't know. Like I told you before, I think we touched on this. Prostitutes don't get... Some prostitutes get disease because they don't use condoms.
Yeah.
But the majority of the real prostitutes that have real men that they have to come home to, the last thing they want to do is spread a disease within that family of people because they're going to point fingers. So they use condoms all the time. You don't just really get them. Of course, it is there. So like anything else.
All right, we're going to take ourselves a little break. Rosebudd is here. He's a retired pimp. He's now doing some tattooing. He's featured in American Pimp, and we'll talk more to him and more to you after this. Yep, it is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew over there. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Rosebud is our guest tonight. He's an ex-pimp. He is featured in American Pimp documentary. It gets good reviews from Anderson, who's Engineer Anderson it is, who's quite a film
Yes,
buff.
he's very stingy with his compliments of films, too.
Yeah, so he gives one big thumb up. So go check that out. We'll get back to the phones and speak to Roger. Roger?
Good morning.
You're 30. Hi.
Yeah, I had a question for Rosebud. I watch the World Wrestling Federation a lot, and they got a wrestler there named The Godfather, and he's a pimp, and he comes out with his hose, and he tells the crowd pimping ain't easy, and the crowd loves him. So I wanted to ask him whether he thought this, or any kind of glorification of being a pimp, was a good thing.
Roger's 30. Why does he sound like he watches the WWF to me?
Lots of people watch WWF, Andrew.
I know they do, Roger, but I had you pegged for that. I don't know.
They're 14. But go ahead.
Anyways,
what do you think, Rosebud?
You know what? I don't watch WWF, but you know what? I saw that guy, and he was in a blue suit, and he had this girl, and he brought her out in a chain, a choker, and he did, say, pimping ain't easy. So as far as if that's what you call glorifying pimping, then I suppose I wouldn't go for that, because that isn't glorifying pimping to me.
Did you ever go to those pimp conventions they
No.
had? No, not for you, huh?
Never.
Well, I'll tell you what, they got a convention for everything, don't they?
I was at, I don't forget where the hell I was, but there was window washers.
Conventions? Yeah, let me say something to all the folks out there who are doing various jobs. You don't all need a convention. You just don't. There's certain jobs where it's all right to just do it and then go home.
And by
You
the
don't
way,
have
if-
to meet
if-
up with other ones of you.
If it's sharing information, I mean, first there was the telephone, now it's the web.
Right.
What do you need to go and share information about?
No, I think it's just kind of an excuse to party, I believe. I mean,
in most cases, that's what they do, too.
Yeah, yeah. And it goes on, I guess, the big one's in Vegas, right?
Conventions?
Yeah, I mean the big pimp convention. The what is it called? The Ho
Players
Ball or Players Ball?
But there is no such thing as that.
What is
There
it?
is no such thing as a players' ball. There may be some party somebody's giving at a particular club or whatever, and since he's a pimp or a player, he might say, I'm giving a party, and then all the people that's going to come say, I'm going to this players' party. But as far as it being a players' convention, where it's people coming from all over the country, you know, a meeting for this particular event, that don't happen. Unless it's a party, and then they might come to the party, but they're not coming to a players' convention because that's too much negative exposure for us.
When you were at your pimping height, were you wearing the pimp rags? Were you driving a
Well, what do you call
LTD?
pimp rags, man? Because for one thing, I'm pretty sure you think Huggy Bear was a pimp.
Yeah, from Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah.
Well, he was yeah, but he had a heart of gold, that Huggy Bear.
Yeah, but he wasn't a pimp. He didn't dress like a pimp. He only dressed like white people think pimps dress.
Well, it's because a Jewish guy dressed him.
No,
Actually, it was a woman.
no. That's because he was scripted to dress the way white people perceived pimps to dress.
Yeah.
But that is not the way pimps dress.
No, I know, but
So what do you mean by pimp attire then?
Well, here's what I mean. I mean when I've seen some pictures or some footage of this this ball we were just talking about, and the so-called pimps are showing up. They're wearing outfits that look, they're wearing purple full-length dusters and, the fedoras and the feathers and the whole thing.
Now
that's what I'm talking about.
Well, now I will say that I didn't wear all that, but I did get sharp, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Whatever I thought sharp was, you have a person in the South, a person in the North, a person in the East and West. All four of them are going to have different concepts of what they call sharp.
Right.
So whatever it is sharp to an individual that's pimping, that's how he's going to dress.
And what about your ride? Did you drive something?
I had a Rolls Royce, I had a Gatsby, I had the Cadillacs, the Fleetwoods, I had all that.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, but don't you want to kind of keep a low profile if you're
Do
doing
you know
this?
the drug of choice for a pimp is attention?
Yeah, but what about the cops?
Oh, excuse me. We didn't care about the cops.
You didn't. And
What about
but
sort of
should you
territories?
have?
We worry about shooting.
This is all a perception that people have manifested over the years. There is no such thing as there is a such thing as people having a squabble on a particular corner about a particular situation, and then when the news get a hold of it, it's somebody squabbling over turf.
But you told me that one of the reasons you stopped pimping was that you got tired of looking around the corner for fear of getting shot.
No.
That's what you told me.
No, that may be what you understood. That's not what I was saying. What I was saying was there's a lot of things that happen in the pimping that you have to accept. So if you're accepting wrestling, you have to accept somebody taking you and throwing you on the ground and just slamming you in a body slam. And when you get tired of that, you're going to say, I'm tired of wrestling. You can't be tired of getting body slammed. You have to be tired of wrestling because getting body slammed is a part of wrestling. So I'm saying, I might have mentioned being shot or getting shot at, but
you mentioned having to look around a corner, being scared.
Well, that was in a metaphor to just say that there's a lot of things that's involved with the pimping that keeps you on your toes.
Did you ever get shot at?
No.
No, I never did.
No.
I mean, there's some danger in it, but not.
The only danger in the pimping is what you create. If you're a person that's going to be creating a situation where you have to be around guns and violence, then you're going to have that to look out for.
All right. Yeah, so I'm looking for a career change. This radio, I don't like the hours.
I don't think you want to be a pimp.
Well, I'm not talking about full-fledged pimp. I'm talking about maybe junior pimp.
No, Rosebudd, he wants to be a hoe.
Yeah, I'm talking about hoeing for a while, then working my way up to junior pimp.
I think they have those guys over on Santa Monica Boulevard.
Oh, they do? All right, I'll go down there. And do they get the good-looking ladies, or?
They get the guys.
Oh, that guy lied. Son of a bitch.
They get the guys.
That's why he wanted the light off. I knew it. Amanda,
Yeah?
you're 15. What's up?
One of my boobs is slightly bigger than the other one.
Yeah, right? It's just slightly, right?
Yeah.
That's
It's
okay.
actually, Amanda, very common for there to be a substantial difference. Very common. And as it is with you, this difference may not be permanent since you're still developing. So
Okay.
give it a few years.
I had another question.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't dated for like a year, and it's because I always pick really bad guys, and I don't know why.
Well, what do you mean by bad? Give me an example.
Well, they always have like some kind of like a drug habit, or they...
Do you have parents with drug habits?
Well, my dad's an alcoholic.
Okay, well, that's why. And the only way that's going to change is if you go do some work. You have to change who you are in relation to other people, and that's only going to happen in some process of either recovery or therapy. And you can certainly go to Al-Anon or Adult Children of Alcoholics, get a sponsor, do the steps, and you will change. Some of the shame and the feelings about who you are will change as you express yourself in the unconditional presence of another person, your sponsor, or a therapist.
Right.
But it won't change otherwise.
Oh, if Rosebud had a nickel for every time he gave that speech to one of his hosts, he'd be a rich man. Let's talk to Jared. You're 24. Jared?
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Good.
What's happening, Jared?
I just had a question for Dr. Drew.
Yep.
I'm married and I have 2 kids, and I was in Planned Parenthood getting some birth control for my wife, and I saw a sign for a no-scalpel vasectomy.
Mm-hmm. They just kick you in the nuts.
Do they?
Yeah.
Do they? Because it's like $300 cheaper than a regular vasectomy.
What is that?
I don't know what they're talking about. Laser? What are they talking about?
I don't know. I don't know any information about it.
Well, I'm going to have to look into it. I don't know quite what they mean, but I would assume it'd be laser, but...
Maybe it's just one of those advertising things where the guy just uses a, hunting knife or something instead of a scalpel.
No scalpel vaccine.
That'd be nice.
It's a technicality.
But I'm wondering if that's some euphemism for something, that they're going to then say, use a condom, you know what I mean?
Right.
Well, no, they had a price up on the wall, $60 for no scalpel, and they're doing like a trial, and I was just wondering if...
I haven't been to Planned Parenthood for a while. Would it be like manager special?
Yeah.
And then no scalpel?
Diet Coke with it?
Yeah.
You get Diet Coke and some fries? How does that work?
No, it must not be a routinely utilized procedure, because I'm not particularly familiar with that.
All right. But, Drew, to do one of these vasectomies, you have to make an incision in the scrotum, right?
A friend of mine's having one done tomorrow, yeah.
And you want to give a shout-out to him?
Sure.
You make an incision on the scrotum?
He'll be at the Weenie Roast on Saturday. As you can imagine, there's all sorts of jokes being
make sure and point them out to me.
at his expense. I will.
You make an incision on the scrotum. How big?
Tiny.
Just a half inch?
Tiny,
3/8 of an inch?
Yeah.
And where? Where in the scrotum?
Listen, I don't do the procedure. They just got to get out the spermatic cord, tie it, clip it, and that's it.
Does each testy have a cord?
Yeah.
Do they have to do both of them then?
Yes.
So they have to do both of them?
Yeah.
All right.
Don't you remember Engineer Mike bringing the 2 little segments of his spermatic cord in?
Yeah, there's certain parts of my life blocked out of my mind. One is Vietnam, and the other's Engineer Mike's spermatic cord being brought in.
Yeah. There you go.
Those are 2 things I try not to think about. But thanks for bringing that up. Joshua?
Yeah, how's it going?
You're 20. What's up?
All right, we got to say what up to the philosopher warrior.
Ah, yes.
Listened for a long time.
You're no kidding.
And you got Dr. Drew there. He's all cool. And I'm not going to bring up my stepfather, by the way.
Good.
Anyway.
Yeah, last night.
Wait,
I didn't actually have a chance to hear that.
Oh, my God, my stepfather. Oh, you have the tape of that?
Stepfather.
There she is.
I was hoping you'd play that. Anyway, Rosebud, how's it going?
All right, how you doing?
All right. Hey, now, I was wondering if you at all, because not all pimps, treat their hoes all right. They're kind of maybe like a little bit abusive or whatever. There's to that. Is there for any reason, do you at all regret being a pimp?
I regret not pimping. I do not regret being a pimp.
But I mean, do you regret pimping?
Wait a minute, what's that mean?
That means that if I had my choice right now, I would be having hoes.
Oh, you would?
Yes, I would. But I don't have my choice. I'm without a choice right now.
Why's that?
Different things happen in my life, and I have to go with, what's happened, what's developed. My daughter, my family, I'm writing. Matter of fact, I have a book, Master of Pimpology, is out. Frontline is going to publish it. It's going to be in the shelves in September, and those type of things that are keeping me away from pimping. Although, when I see somebody that reminds me of it, I just get the chills.
Wow. And so if you weren't so busy doing other non-pimp related activities, you'd be back in it.
I really believe I would.
How long have you been out of it?
About 8 years, 9 years.
And if you miss it every day?
Not one day ever goes by that I didn't wish that I was still pimping.
Yeah. It's like
even when I look at my daughter and I know how much I love her and how much, not that I think pimping is bad and I, because of her I stopped. It's just what I had to do, I had to stop, and she just came along. But when I look at her and all the love I feel, I still miss it.
But do you believe that it would damage her if you went back into this?
No. I believe that I wouldn't be able to be the father that I want to be if I went back into it.
That would damage her.
Well, no, that's what you would say, but that's not what I would say. What I mean is that I would put so much interest in being the hell of a pimp that I would be that I probably would neglect her in some ways as far as the time that I need to put into raising her.
Right. I think we're at semantics. I think that's what we're saying.
Yeah, but you got the public out there. I want them to go with what I'm saying as far as what I'm talking about.
All right. I think we're on the same page. I do. All right. Rosebud, how you doing?
I'm fine, man. I'm having fun.
Yeah, I'm tired. All right, we're going to take ourselves a little break. When we come back, who are we going to talk to here, Drew?
I haven't decided yet.
All right, good. Could you bang a chair a little harder against the mic? There you go. We'll be back.
There you go.
All right. Yep, it is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew over there. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Rosebud is our guest tonight. He's an ex-pimp, but still a pimp at heart. American Pimp is the name of the documentary he's featured in. I recommend it highly. And also has himself a place out in Inglewood called Tay's Playa Tattoos, where do you do the, are you the artist?
No, I'm not the artist, but I have 3 very good artists and a very good piercer there.
What's the big tat? What's the most popular tat right now?
There's so many different people that come in with so many different ideas. The only thing that's really popular is names.
Oh, really?
That's just about the most thing we do, names.
Yeah. That names, doing like guys' girlfriends or their wives or whatever, that always seems so treacherous to me,
You know what? Not only is it the most requested tattoo, it's also the most covered up tattoo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd draw the name so it looked like something else already, just in case there's trouble down the road. I was actually thinking about this when I was driving home the other night, and I was thinking, well, I'd get my woman's tattoo on me, but I'd do it on the bottom of my foot. And then I thought, well, then she'd be pissed off. Do you know what I'm saying?
You step on it all the time.
Yeah, but that's abusive too.
Doing it on the bottom of the foot.
That hurt too.
You don't want to do, but you don't want to do it in a place in case you guys break up.
Hey,
but that's what the cover-up is about.
I used to broadcast with Ricky Rankman from MTV, and he had his wife's picture tattooed all over his scapula.
Oh, that's his back, his shoulder wing there?
They divorced.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's rough. You know what I'd do? I'd put a beard on her and an eye patch and make her into a pirate.
You know what? This guy came in. He had his girl on there, and he wanted it off, but it was so big, what we had to cover it up with, he didn't want it. So he said, well, tattoo F you.
Oh, well, that's a nice compromise.
Yeah, F you, the name.
Morgan?
Yes.
You're 20.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
Well, I got married when I was 19. I have 2 kids. I had my first kid at 17, and now I can't stand my husband.
Are they his children?
Yeah, they are. They both are.
And what do you mean you can't stand him?
Like, I don't like him to get near me. I don't want to kiss him. I don't like having sex with him. I just don't.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
How's his hygiene?
He's fine. He's real clean. It's just I don't want to have anything to do with him.
Well, help us a little bit.
When did it take the turn?
I would say it was okay. I think it hit worst after I had my second baby.
Yeah.
Do you still feel attractive?
No. Actually, we split up because I would never sleep with him, and he always thought I was cheating on him, but I never did. I just couldn't stand him.
Yeah, but we can't figure out why you can't stand him.
Yeah.
Well, okay, he used to hit me.
Okay, all right.
Well, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, fine.
Can you turn that TV down in the background?
What has changed that you're no longer willing to tolerate a guy that's abusive like that?
Like I haven't been in a relationship since him. I'm scared to get into one because my mom was abused when she was like in her last relationship.
Well, are you still in the relationship with the guy?
I'm still married to him, but we're separated.
So you're trying to get in other relationships.
Yeah.
And you're afraid you're going to pick another guy that's physically aggressive?
Yeah, and so it's done with him.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
But
well,
I just didn't
hold
understand
on a second. Why is she starting the question with, I'm not attracted to my husband?
How could it be? Yeah, I know.
We're not making love as much as... you guys
over.
are broken up.
It's over.
What do you mean? I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, we're all trying to figure out... We think this guy's sitting in the next room. They're broken up. All right, hey, Morgan? Caller who goes by the name of Morgan, who we were just talking to?
Oh, she hangs up.
All right, listen, here, whatever it is, here's the deal. You're broken up with the abusive guy, fine. That's over. Keep it over with. Focus on your kids, be a good mother, and just let time work
she
it
is
out a little bit.
appropriately concerned that she's going to pick another guy like that, which she probably will. If she wants to do some work on herself, go ahead.
Yes.
It's going to take some time.
But what about if she stopped thinking like that, though? I'm saying she thinks that she's going to do it, so don't you think those thoughts are going to make her do it?
Well, most women do it without thinking about it. In fact, what the pattern is that they'll go, oh, I'm never going to pick a guy like that again. They pick a guy that's never done that before, doesn't seem in any way on the surface to be that guy, and magically he's that guy.
Yeah.
Even though they're trying specifically, it's really what causes attraction in people. The attraction is really what determines the probability of the guy being that kind of person. She needs to literally date people she's not attracted to.
Oh, what about them bringing it out?
Which there is something to that too. And this is something that Rosebudd was talking about last when I was talking about the webcast.
Well, what I mean is sometimes a woman is with an abusive guy or with a whatever guy and swears she's not going to be with another one. Then she gets with a guy. He's not that kind of guy. A year goes by. She starts getting antsy. So she goes out and bangs one of his friends. He comes home and starts beating on her. And now she's created, in a sense, not that she forced him to do it, but that she got into the situation that was most familiar to her. All right. Focus on the kids. You're 20 years old. You got your whole life ahead of you. Just take a little time off. Heather?
Yeah?
You're 15. What's up?
First of all, I want to say you guys are great. I mean, I love you, Dr. Drew. You have such a sexy voice. And Adam, you're just hilarious.
Oh,
anyways, my boyfriend, he is really jealous of my ex-girlfriend.
Okay, we got to put her on hold. Anderson's freaking out there.
Okay, we have bad phone line.
Bad connection. Boyfriend is jealous of her ex-girlfriend?
So you think she's bi, or was she just a friend of hers? Let me just punch her up real quick to find out. Were you having sex with your ex-girlfriend?
Yeah.
You were?
Yeah.
All right, so you're bisexual?
Yes.
Okay, and he thinks you're going to get back with her?
Well, she harasses me a lot. Like, she still likes me, and I don't want to be mean to her because she's a friend of mine.
Why does that surprise you that he'd be jealous that you were still hanging out with somebody you used to sleep with?
Well, I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but, like, I don't know what to do about it.
All right, well, if you love him, you got to break it off with her.
You got to make a choice.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Hey, Heather?
Yeah.
I suspect you're one of those people who likes a little chaos mixed in with your relationship.
Oh, yeah.
And you just keep this thing going to keep him off balance and to keep the chaos factor at level 10. You really want things to settle down? You want the dust to settle? You want your boyfriend to mellow out?
You will.
Cut her off.
Yeah, if you want that, you'll get that.
Yeah, and don't, report to him each time you talk to her and all that. I really get a strong chaos feeling from her. You want to take a break?
Yeah.
All right, wait a minute. Alicia?
Yes.
You're 25?
Yes.
Your jaw got stuck open while you're giving BJ?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Okay.
That wouldn't happen with me. You could do it with your mouth closed and just get between your teeth.
That happened with Jenny Craig.
Really?
She wasn't giving that BJ, but she was yawning, and her jaw got caught open, and she had to get operated on that.
Wow.
We'll talk about it.
A good story.
Yeah.
She one of your hoes? All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back after this. It is...
that is Anderson's favorite part of the show right there.
Yeah.
Really, that's it.
You know what my favorite part of the show is?
When we end.
Well, it's about a minute after we end, to be fair to me. Rosebud is our guest tonight. Come on, don't toy with me, Anderson. Oh, I'm so tired tonight. Oh, that's Taboo 2, one of my favorite porn movies, Rosebud. Phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. Rosebud's our guest tonight. He's a ex-pimp. He's featured in American Pimp. It is a documentary. It is out in theaters. I suggest you check it out. He is hanging with us tonight. He also runs Tay's Playa Tattoos, which is out in Inglewood, and you can go in there and get yourself a lovely tat.
We also have a parlor over on Crenshaw Boulevard, 4319 Crenshaw. We have 2 of them.
And now when you go in there, you look through a big
like catalog, see what you like, or some guys bring their own pictures in?
It's either or. We have a lot of flashes, which is different designs that's already there, or you come in with your particular design drawn, we could do that, or you come in with something that you have a concept of and we could draw it. Artist first, as far as with pencil.
Right.
And once you really get the knack of it, it's just like drawing.
Do they draw it on there first and then go over it?
They draw it on some paper first, stenciling paper, then they put it on you, and then they draw over the lines with the with the needles.
Right.
So their hand is steady from drawing.
Right.
So the gun, once they get used to the weight of the gun, it's just like having a pencil in your hand, and they don't mess up.
And Rosebud's motto for both places is a new needle for every 10 customers.
No, it's not. It's a new needle for every customer.
Oh, every customer.
That's right.
I screwed that one up. All right, we will hop back on the phones and speak to Alicia, who's 25. Her jaw got stuck open, like Jenny Craig's did. Or so Rosebud says. I didn't hear about that. And when you're given oral sex,
right?
Were you giving it for a while?
Yeah, actually, it's happened about 3 times.
Each in the same activity?
Yes. And, I heard it pop,
Yeah.
and then it actually got stuck open.
Yeah, but what I'm asking is how long were you performing on the guy?
Oh, my husband. About 10 minutes, probably, when it happened.
I see.
Did you have to go to the hospital?
No, I didn't, because actually I was too embarrassed to go to my family doctor and tell him what had happened.
What'd you do?
I just massaged my jaws, and it closed on its own. But
Wow, are you lucky?
I was wondering, what do you think is the problem?
Well, it's usually basically an arthritis of the temporomandibular joint, and it sort of slips out of place. It dislocates quite literally because of a laxity there. And what the doctors have to do is, if you go to the emergency room, they give you IV Valium to try to relieve the muscles and give you some sort of relief of the pain too. And then they will grab your jaw from behind and push down and pull and put it back into position.
Try to pop it back in
You
its
literally go
socket?
like that, and pow, it goes back in.
Yeah.
It happens pretty frequently. Know this, Alicia. If you go to the emergency room with your jaw stuck open, no one is going to assume that you were involved in oral sex when this happened.
Well, I didn't want them to ask me how it happened.
You don't have to tell them. You're yawning, okay? Because that's how it happens.
You know, that's funny. That's what Jenny Craig said she was doing.
How can I avoid this from happening? I can't.
You want to talk to your dentist about seeing maybe a maxillofacial surgeon, because there are remedies, but there's things that have to be done.
Do you grind your teeth?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, do you have headache and jaw pain, that kind of thing?
Yeah, actually I do.
Yeah, that's TMJ syndrome, and that there are lots of different treatments for that.
Go to your dentist and they'll give you a mouthpiece.
You get a mouth guard anyway, yeah, at least that'll get you going.
You know, I was wondering, I don't know if you remember or not, because I know you get a lot of calls, but I had called a couple of weeks ago, and I had said that I had strep throat, and I was wondering if my husband could get it through oral sex.
Yeah. Yeah, God bless you. Every call you have is about giving a BJ.
Well...
Oh, you're really taking your life in your own hands when Alicia goes down on you. I mean, the strep throat, the TMJ, like putting your penis in a bear trap. You don't know what could happen.
Wait a minute.
Why he should just hump a beehive. He'd be in better shape.
I think it's great that you guys have this show, because I'd be too embarrassed to ask my regular doctor some questions like this.
Yeah. Well, one of the reasons I did this show early on was so people would understand that doctors see this stuff, and it's no big deal to us, and you shouldn't be embarrassed. And this is just, it's just out there. So.
I originally got into it for the money.
I understand that. A little bit different. And no one would doubt that now that you're literally rich.
Well, I'm a millionaire. Literally a millionaire.
Whatever.
All right. Let's talk to Charity.
Hello?
Hey, you're 24. What's up?
Yes, I am. Well, I just really wanted your opinion on something.
Mm-hmm.
My fiance, he's in prison. He's been there for 2 years.
When did you meet him?
When did I meet him? When I was 17. That was 1990.
Yeah. What's he in prison for?
Well, burglary. But what I wanted to know is, do you think that I should have to stay faithful? Because it's like in there, it's different. It's not like all around. And I'm attractive, and like everywhere I go,
Charity, you're 24. What's the hurry to get married in the first place? And your guy's in jail. I understand.
Well, we have 2 children together, and I love him.
Well, what's not to love? What?
I mean, it's not.
What is he in?
Like
What do he do? I mean, you say burglary, but he must have.
It really wasn't him. He was just like a wrong place, wrong time.
Right.
Oh, please, Charity.
Oh.
No, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not.
Right, but he must have some priors, right?
Huh?
He must have some priors. Prior offenses.
Well, I don't really want to discuss that. I just want to know if
Yeah.
Yeah, but Charity, we're trying to
Here's
assess
what I'm saying.
your judgment.
You got to be at the wrong place, the wrong time. Usually a couple of times. If
you
you're
hit the wrong place, wrong time.
No, well, look at me. I'm a free man. You want to get married? All right, listen, goofball.
I'm not in a hurry to get married.
All right.
It's not that. It's
I understand, but you're asking if it's okay to cheat on this guy you're engaged to.
okay, but I mean, would it be like wrong? I mean, if it was him, okay, I'm sorry, but 2 weeks would have went by, but he's a man, so.
Wow.
All right, you really got a catch there.
Yeah, Charity, your denial is so massive.
Hey, you got a sister I can date?
No.
Yeah, this is what I'm looking for in a woman. Someone's steeped in denial, like Rosebud. You know what I like? Like a woman. You probably had a few of these. When you watch Jerry Springer and the guy comes out and he's sitting in between the 2 chicks and he's screwed both of them, but they're beating the crap out of each other and he's just sitting there.
You like that?
Well, the point is any woman I date, if I screw around on her, she'll beat the crap out of me. And then the other one they'd both be beating the crap out of me, is what I'm saying, as opposed to beating the crap out of each other. And I like the kind of woman that beats the crap out of each other. It's like, listen, you two settle it. I screw both of you. We'll let the dust settle. Let the best woman win. I'll be back in the green room with my pants down.
I like the kind of woman that understand that a guy like me gonna have more than one woman anyway. So she ain't supposed to be tripping.
Yeah, well, that's taking it to the next level. I could never expect that out of a hoe. I really couldn't. But Charity over here, listen, let me talk to you. Hey, Charity?
Hello?
Listen, speaking of Charity, who's raising these kids?
I am.
You working?
I have an excellent job. I make good money, and I'm an excellent mother.
And where are your kids all day?
And why was your man burglarizing places if you have all this?
Is that Lovebudd or whatever?
Yes.
You're very disrespectful. I'm sorry, I have to say that.
Why, for asking why your guy was robbing a place when you're making great money? How dare you?
What's wrong with that question?
Because
She don't like the fact that I was a pimp, so anything I say will be disrespectful.
I think that is very disrespectful.
Charity, anything that challenges your denial, you got to come up with something to throw us back on our heels. And this just challenges your denial a little bit. You need to start seeing reality on reality's terms.
All right?
Yeah.
Take care of your kids, please.
Oh, I'm an excellent mother. Excellent.
I know. Listen.
Excellent.
Hey, we get this all the time. It's like, I'm a junkie, I'm an excellent mother. My boyfriend's in prison, I'm an excellent mother. No, you're not. It's like saying, I'm an alcoholic, I'm an excellent pilot.
Yeah.
Right. It ain't the same. Right. You can't be the same. You could be a pretty good pilot for an alcoholic, but you're not an excellent pilot. You may fly a plane drunk better than anybody, but you're still not an excellent pilot. And
Very well said.
Thank you. Yeah, that's why I'd be a good pimp, because I think I could give a good pep talk to my hoes,
Which is essential.
Yeah, keep the morale level up. Get them hustling out there. Tony?
Yeah.
You're 26. What's up?
You like Phil Jackson.
I've got a question.
Yeah, come on, gather around the chalkboard and get a hand in.
We've had some defensive sequences that didn't go as I planned.
Yeah. Well, it's working for him. Tony?
Yeah, I've got a question for Rosebud. The arrangement you have with the women that work for you, I understand why you have the women, they go out, they do the trick, they bring the money back to you. But for them, why do they need a pimp? Why don't they just go out, do the work, get the money, and keep it all themselves?
That's the most asked question by people. And when I give them the answer, they never believe it. So first and foremost, you have to understand that this is a psychology that you have no knowledge of that goes on when that happens. This woman has already accepted that she needs a pimp for whatever the reason the game provides. So you don't know anything about the game, and it takes too long to explain that to you. But as far as what we give a woman, what pimps give women, we are the only men that they can actually be women with. Everyone else is going to see them as a hoe. Everyone else is going to treat them like hoes. Everyone else is going to think of what they can do with a hoe. Whereas when she comes home to a pimp, she's going to be spoke to as a woman. She's going to be treated like a woman, and whatever they do, they're going to do as man and woman. They're not going to do as pimp and hoe, as everyone seems to think.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, same reason actor needs an agent or a manager. I mean, if you think about it. I mean, I don't want to glorify it too much, but everybody has one of those. Oh, not everybody.
No, but I think Rosebudd has.
I know what he's saying, but I'm saying to Tony. I mean, Tony brought it up as a sort of economic question.
Well, which is viable. In other words, why don't they just go do it themselves?
Why doesn't Robert De Niro just go do it himself, though? You know what I'm saying?
You mean once somebody's in the position that they really could do it themselves?
No, I just mean in general. I mean, why doesn't an actor do it for himself?
Because most of them can't. Most of them won't get,
Well, I mean, you pay someone a certain amount so that you don't have to... They organize your schedule.
Yeah.
They look after you. They put an itinerary together. They tell you where to be. And for that, you give them a certain percentage of what you're making doing whatever it is you're doing. You know what I mean? I always assumed it was that way. I didn't, thankfully with agents and managers, only 10, 15%, something like that. But... You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What do you think these women would work? Do you think they would be able to do this themselves?
Be hoes by themselves?
Well, I mean, have
they could do it if they wanted to do
lucrative career.
They could have a lucrative career, but what none of you guys ever consider is that it is not about the money. It is about that woman want to be with that man, period. Whatever you think that is involved in is not the case. It is involving that this woman... the pimp. That woman has decided that she wants to be with this pimp. She has accepted that in order to be with a pimp, you have to pay him. So she knows that she knows all of this going in, accepting. It has nothing to do with finances or how much money or she's going to get out of it or any of that. It has to do with this dude that's told her that he's a pimp. She has accepted that she wants to be a hoe, so that she's going to pay him. Now, what develops as far as the relationship, that's between the two people.
All right.
So does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
It's an interesting theory that the quality of what that woman, whatever she comes to that relationship with, whatever history, whatever, is she needs that guy.
Well, Drew, let's not call her a woman. It's degrading. Hoe. Would you listen up, please?
And that in order for that guy to be the one that she sort of is able to connect with, there's this whole thing that goes on.
All right, I'm with you.
Very interesting.
Hey, Ray?
Yeah.
You're 17. What's up?
Okay, there's a story behind this little technique. Me and my girlfriend were getting intimate for the first time the other night, and, well, she told me to go down on her because she just went down on me. Well, when I was going down on her, halfway through, I threw up all over her.
No greater compliment can be paid to a lady than vomiting after you've gone down on her.
Oh, it's such decorum,
She will, but believe me, that'll be her last thought before she dies at 85. that will stay with her forever.
Gosh, I know. I was wondering if there's something wrong with me or...
It's not her.
Well, it could be.
Did you force yourself to go down on her?
No, I actually wanted to.
Yeah, and what do you think made you throw up?
I don't know. It was just, the smell was great. I like that. The taste was great. It's just, I don't know. It just threw up.
You're gay. Were you drunk?
Oh, no, I don't do any of that.
You don't drink?
No.
Maybe it would have helped. And now, and no problem with the smell.
You probably was excited.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of, guys will throw up before the big game. Maybe you were really racing. Maybe you're really pumped up at an adrenaline surge.
She was sounding excited, getting into it, and you just felt like Superman.
Yeah, she's my kryptonite or something.
Are you, are you a religious guy?
Not really.
Not really. So there's no moral implications or guilt or anything here, right?
No, not
All right.
really.
Now, where did you throw up on her?
All over the area and her.
What did she do?
She just ran in the bathroom.
So she jumped up.
Yeah.
Screaming.
Oh, man. And what happened? How was that? Thank God I wasn't there for the conversation that followed. What did she say when she came back?
She's like, you can leave now. I'll call you tomorrow.
Did she?
Yeah, she did.
She did. All right. Well, listen.
She didn't even talk about the situation that happened last night. She just, ignored it.
Yeah. She's cool. We should talk to her. Let's give her a call. We'll straighten this whole thing out.
She's not home right now.
Where is she?
Lake Havasu.
Really?
Yeah.
Going with her camping, summer vacation or something?
Summer vacation.
Yeah, she's probably in some sort of rehab
Mud
or
bath,
something
yeah.
over there, trying to get clean. She's probably in like Havasu right now.
Like
just
scrubbing.
Scrubbing. Can't get clean. All right, listen.
Poor Ray.
You know what I think? I think there's certain things that happen when you're being intimate that you can both sort of just pretend didn't happen, but this ain't one of them.
Well,
I think you got to just go, listen, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with you. I got excited. Here's the story. Make up
Condition.
other time.
Condition,
Other time I got really excited. It was the 7th game of the World Series or something, and Boston was in it or something, and I threw up right there in front of the TV. So tell her
My bar
there's
mitzvah.
my bar mitzvah. I vomited all over the rabbi. Rosebud.
Before I was a mess.
Yeah, that happened to Rosebud during his bar mitzvah, I'm sure. The point
No, that
is,
happened to me the first time I got paid.
yeah,
I
there you
was
go.
so excited.
That is a good. Just make up a pre-existing condition. Explain that it's happened a couple times before, and you were so excited that that's what happened. But you love her very much, and you want to give it a second try. But if you do it again, then just run. Even if you're naked, just keep running down the street because that's it. Eric?
Yeah, hi.
Hey, you're 24. What's up?
Yeah, I keep getting involved with like women that are, I guess you could say they're unavailable. They either have a boyfriend or they have 2 kids and things like that, and I can't seem to find, or I keep having problems. I'm always attracted to unavailable women.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking about this just a few minutes ago. When women go for unavailable men, they're looking for unavailable men. Guys like Dad that were not available.
Right.
When men go for unavailable women, many times it's not that they're unavailable, it's that they're in a crappy relationship and you're going to rescue them.
Well, and that it's easier to pick up a woman who has a couple of kids who's an old man cut out on him.
But that attraction piece, the attraction part is she's hurting. I can feel that I'm drawn in. Let's see if that's...
You mean like I'm going to save her?
Rescue.
Eric?
Yeah.
Do you have some of that rescue?
Yeah, exactly.
You do.
2 relationships I've been in like that.
Who did you rescue in your family? Anybody?
No.
No. You need to be like... People with this sort of rescue thing, guys, are usually sort of caretaking their parents when they're growing up. The parents sort of don't give you what you need. You're busy taking care of them and doing for them and being perfect for them and all that stuff when you're growing up.
Yeah, my father got lost his job when right when I got out of high school. He lost his job, and I had to go. I quit school and took over, and I helped support the family for a while.
All right, but that's
a little late in the game.
Little late, yeah.
But the fact that you took that on, though, suggests you're that kind of caretaker, you see.
Yeah.
And that the parents allowed you to do that as part of the deal there, too.
Yeah, I can't seem to understand why when if I meet a woman who's totally available, unattached, doesn't have any problems, doesn't have any kids, nothing like that.
Yeah, Eric, stop looking at the available, unavailable piece. Start looking at that little sort of source of pain you're zeroing in that woman, that need for connecting with that painful part that you got to rescue. That you can't tolerate her sort of doing things on her own. You got to get in there and make it okay.
All right, Eric? Yeah.
All right.
There you go. That'll never work. Jenna.
Yes.
You're 18.
Yes.
What's up?
I have a problem. My boyfriend and I have been together off and on for about 4 years. And I don't know if I'm with him because he's the only guy that's ever made me orgasm or what. And it's really bugging me.
Well, how many guys you been with?
Just him and 2 other guys, my first and another man after him.
Well, wait, you keep going back to this guy. Is there something wrong with him?
No, there's nothing wrong with him.
Well, what's the problem?
I'm with him and I love him, but he's cheated on me about 6 or 7 times.
Wouldn't that be under the category of something wrong with him?
Well, he hasn't cheated on me for like the last year, and like we've been together 4 years, and I'm trying to give him a chance to. We were 15 when we started going out. I'm 18 now. It's
6 or 7 times.
Yeah.
Did he have sex with these women?
4 of them.
Yeah. Here would be my main concern for a guy like this. Not that he's cheated 6 or 7 times, but that he's gotten popped 6 or 7 times. I mean, that's a stupid guy. This guy has no earning potential.
Well, after the first time, I started not trusting him, so I kind of looked for.
Still, he should have factored that in. I mean, this guy's going nowhere. He has no life skills.
How slick could he be?
Well, apparently not that slick. I guess. Yeah, but that is a good point. You're not James Bond when you're 15 years old.
Right.
Right. And
And he was doing this while you guys were committed.
Right, and we broke up because of it over and over, but we've grown up, and now he hasn't done it in a while, but...
It's been a year.
Right.
Well, that you're aware of. I mean, let me tell you, cheating is like roaches. You see one or two in your kitchen when you turn the light on. Figure there's another 100 or so hiding somewhere else.
Again, here's the pattern here. When he was carrying on and he was a challenge, she's in. Now he's available. What's wrong with this guy? I got to get rid of him. What bothers me that I'm still with him.
Right. That is interesting, Jenna. You know what we're saying? What Drew's saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, because when it was a challenge and when he reminded you of something, there was never a stronger attraction, right?
Right. When he goes out with another girl, I'm always the one begging him back.
Right. Now that he's actually available and into the relationship, you can't stand that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe there's a part of him that knows that and just likes to keep you in that state.
Yeah, but he's out of that now. He's in this relationship.
Well, maybe he'll make a little.
You said she don't like the fact that he really is being true to her.
Right. She can't stand it. She has to sabotage it now.
Well, you know, it's not though. And it oversimplifies it to say doesn't like.
Yeah.
I mean, but I know what you mean, Rosebud. She can't handle it.
Yeah, she can't handle it.
I mean, she likes it, but she can't handle it.
She can't hang with it.
What people like and what they end up getting is something that it's totally different. All right, Jenna, you need to look into that, and there's where your answer will be. I'm going to look into taking a leak. Rosebud is our guest tonight. He is from American Pimp, and we'll talk more to him and you after this. Yep, it is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. Phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. Forget about the fax number. American Pimp is the name of the documentary. Engineer Anderson, who's somewhat of a film buff, saw it today, gives it a big thumbs up. Rosebud is our guest tonight. He is one of the pimps that is featured in this documentary. He also has himself a couple of tattoo parlors. Tays Play Tattoos over in wherever that damn forum is over there. And where's the other one? On Crenshaw?
4319 Crenshaw.
That's right.
Right in Lemur Park.
And Crenshaw. All right, we will hop back on the phones. And I was thinking to myself, I like to sit around and think about what's wrong with me. And I'll give you a real good example. I was out of town for 4 days, So I took my... I had some keys made to my house. So, someone come over and open the gate and water and that kind of stuff. What is it about getting keys made where they don't work half the time? First off,
3/4 of the time.
Yeah, it feels like that we're being generous. It drives me nuts. And it was a kiss of death because the guy who made it at the hardware store recognized me and said to the other guy, "Hey, that's Adam Carolla. Don't screw this one up. This better work." And I thought, you just cursed it. You just cursed it. So none of the 5 keys I had made worked. So I got to take the key off of my key ring. And for me, there's 2 things I can't stand doing. Taking the key off the key ring, the little tight ones you got to get your fingernails in, and putting on socks. two troublesome things.
And bathing.
To be fair, yeah. And so here's the kind of guy I am. Now I got the key back, but it's going to take me a good week to muster up the energy to get it back onto the key ring. Even though I know it's got to go back on the key ring. And here's the good news. It will float around in my car, falling underneath the car seat, falling out of my sweatpants pocket. I'm going to keep it separate, and I'm going to have to hire a guy to keep track of this key because I won't put it back on the goddamn key ring when it's handed back to me. That's what's wrong with me.
The beauty of Carolla.
Yes, I will have to lose the key and hop my fence, and then and only then will I then get the new key that doesn't work, and that will go on the key ring promptly, except for it won't work because I won't check it first. All right, that's my life.
Why am I such a loser?
Kathy?
Yeah.
You're 16. What's up?
I was wondering, when I have sex, guys attract me because of the size of my boobs. I mean, I have nice boobs, and it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't turn me on.
Some women are that way.
And
what, sex doesn't turn you on?
No, when they play with my boobs, I mean, I've heard that, it's supposed to feel good and this and that, but I don't.
Adam likes that.
What size are those boobs?
Right?
Well, like what? Yeah, like
somebody touch you there.
What, hold on?
36D.
Nice rack. How big is the rest of you?
Not that big.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. All right. So you're not, here's the thing about women and their breasts. Some women are very connected to them, and others, it's sort of neither here nor there.
Yeah.
And you guys should go ahead and state that on the first date so guys don't either waste time or not spend enough time. You never know what to do. Because you really, I mean, half the chicks I've been with, it's like, you get on those boobs and stay on those boobs like it's a tackling sled or something in football. And the other half are like, what are you doing? Stop wasting my time. You know, your head's blocking the TV set. I can't see. And so you don't know what to do. And also, sometimes you get onto one boob, you forget about the other boob. That's why I stay right in the middle. Yeah. All right, so her question was a little deeper, though, which was she thinks guys are only there for that. Hey, Kathy?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you not trust guys?
No, it's not that. It's just, I don't know. Girls are turned on by it, and all my friends have said, I like it when guys do this to my boobs. And I'm just like, it doesn't feel
All right,
good.
well, that's not your personal thing, but what about guys just being attracted to you because of your boobs?
It's happened.
Does that bother you?
No. I mean, I like the attention.
All right, there you go. Man, geez, Kathy, you're 16. You sound so disillusioned.
She likes the attention, but she complex on it.
No, she sounds mature, that's all.
You think so?
She sounds more bitter than mature.
No.
You're all right?
She thinks about it too much, and it's not fun.
She's fine.
All right. Listen, I've given this speech a million times. Men are attracted to women for multiple reasons, but mostly physical. And I don't know why we make a big to-do about the breasts and not about the ass or the eyes or the face. I mean, men are attracted to supermodels. Why? You know what I mean?
Not the breast.
It's a physical thing. Or they may be attracted to this other woman solely because of her breast. But any way you look at it, it's a physical thing.
Right.
That's why they're there. And I don't know why women who have big breasts or maybe a shapely body are turned off by that attraction, whereas a woman who's very beautiful in the face and has beautiful piercing blue eyes or something does not hold that against the guy. It's physical attraction. Any way you slice it, they're not attracted to you, the person. They're attracted to what you look like.
I think, though, for whatever reason, there's a tighter association between face and the person. Than body and the person.
Yeah, but a lot of women, I mean, a lot of guys, you'd get, if a woman had, let's say, a very beautiful body.
No, I understand what you're saying, but I just think that...
No, but you're talking about the face, so let's forget about, pretend you cut their head off. That's what I do when I have sex, I pretend they're missing their head. I keep it in a basket by my hamper. Now.
Oh, there's some images that were conjured up there. I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's great.
No,
and
what you do, the hampers.
Oh, yeah. So now... Forget about the face. So let's just talk about the body. There's some women, they're very tall, they're very lean, they're very angular, not large-breasted, but guys are definitely into them because they got a nice ass, nice set of legs on them. That's what they're into. Then there may be another woman with a big rack on her. Guys are in it for that, but it's the body. Any way you break it down, different parts of the body, but the body. And why is it such a big deal? And women, if you got a beautiful rack, don't harp on it. They're into you for the same reason they're into the head cheerleader with the blonde hair and the blue eyes. It's physical. Bouncy. There you go. Hannah?
Oh, yeah.
You're 25.
Yeah. I have a question for Dr. Drew and Rosebud. I wanted to know if there are any long-term side effects or bad side effects to getting your lips tattooed.
Your mouth, lips?
Yeah. Like what they do is they tattoo like
an outline.
A permanent color.
Yeah.
What is that all about?
Well,
it's like permanent makeup.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's not, to me, I haven't heard of any bad or negative side effects as long as you use the ink that's supposed to be used for makeup. There's different ink for tattoos and makeup.
This here. I see.
Yeah. They have permanent ink.
Yeah.
And I think they do
the eyes, eyebrows.
Yeah. No, I know.
Sometimes put a mole on her. So.
Here's the problem with that, though. It starts to, you look like Eartha Kitt.
Well,
you know what I mean? What did she play? Catwoman in Batman. You start, guys can kind of tell. I guess you could find someone who does a real good job, but
you're supposed to get like a light color.
And really, you can't tell, man. If it's done properly, all it looks like is the lining above. You see people with lipstick on, and then they have a darker penciled line.
Right.
You could always tell that they penciled it in, but it wouldn't look any different as far as that goes.
Than penciling it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known a lot of women that wanted to have it done, but I've never actually known anyone who's actually had it done to actually see what it looks like.
Well, listen, Hannah, here's what you need to do. do. Go to somebody who's done a lot of it and look at a lot of their pictures and,
That's
just
for
make
sure.
sure they've got a lot of experience because that is not one. I saw some 2020 expose or something about that once, and, when they go wrong, they go wrong. And the problem is
And it's permanent.
They go wrong, they stay wrong. And then look
Can
out.
any of the lasers remove it? Any of the new...
If you had it and you wanted to remove,
Yeah.
that's the only way to get it removed. Laser.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk to Mike, who's 19. Mike?
Yeah.
What's up?
I think my girlfriend's afraid of orgasm.
Yeah, I've been with a few of them. Yeah. Why?
Afraid.
Because you're afraid to go down on her?
Oh, no, I love doing that. That's great.
All right. And when she gets right up to it and then she stops herself?
She stops me.
What is it she's afraid of?
I don't know.
Is she afraid she's going to urinate, or...?
Yeah, she has. Well, I know it's not that, but...
Well, what do you mean, yeah?
That would be enough.
What do you mean, yeah? You said yeah.
Yeah, she is afraid of that, I think.
Of urinating?
Yeah.
And then you just said, it's not that.
Like, I have made her ejaculate, if that's what you call it.
Ejaculate?
Ejaculate.
Ejaculate?
Same thing, yeah.
Are you sure you're not dating a guy?
Oh, I'm damn sure.
It's not
You're
her,
gay.
is it? We made her ejaculate. Well, wait a minute.
Ejaculate.
If she's ejaculating, then, or whatever you're calling it, then she's having an orgasm, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
she doesn't let me get there anymore.
All right, because she's
ashamed of the ejaculation, maybe.
Yeah. A certain amount of women
Do that, yeah.
I don't have to tell Rosebud this, but something comes out of them,
I've had them squirted out like me almost.
Have you? Did you
Yeah.
like that?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like you have some sense of accomplishment.
More than that.
Well, I mean, you
Success.
yeah, success. I mean, a man takes a lot of pride in that. And they ain't faking.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, there's no possible way because it tastes too
That's
weird.
that G-spot.
Well, yeah, but some women don't. Some women, I don't know what percentage of women have something come out of them, but I would say 5%,
yeah.
something like that from doing this show. Monique, is that one? What is that? What name is that?
Monique.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Monique, what's up?
When I was younger, I was molested by my brother, and I explained to him about it, like, a long time ago, and he denied it, and I was just wondering if it's possible that he forgot about it.
How old is he?
Right now, he's 24.
And how old was he when he did this?
I don't know. I was, like, really young, like, I was, like, 4 or something like that.
It's possible he forgot, and it's very common for people to lie about these kinds of things.
Well, he's 9 years older than you, right?
10.
10. Okay.
Oh, yeah, 9. I don't know.
Okay. I am sorry for asking you to do basic math. Okay. If he's 24, you're 15, right?
Yeah, that's 9.
All right. I do have the benefit of having a pad in front of me. So he's 9 years older than you. So if this happened when you were 4, he may have been 13 or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
In which case, he should remember. You know what I'm saying?
Remember though.
I don't know how you remember. How do you remember?
Because I remember it went on until I was, like, in 2nd grade.
Oh, well,
it was ongoing.
This went on for some years then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then
he's lying.
He's lying, and he's denying it. I mean, and he's probably ashamed, right?
And scared, and God knows what he's doing to other people now.
What does he have a family?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I always hate to hear that. Is he married still?
Mm-mm. He never got married. He just has, like, a kid.
Uh-huh. And is he living with his woman and his kid?
No.
Good.
No. And she's taking care of the kid?
Yeah.
All right, so he's not messing with the kid as far as we know?
Huh?
Okay. Okay. Well, what do you want out of us?
I just wanted to know that.
Listen, you got to turn down your radio or TV or whatever's going on in the background there. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I don't... but you see, it's like you want to yell at her, but on the other hand, you know what she's been through. What she's been through, and you know that's what makes her the way she is. I mean, we talk to these victims all night, and they're victims, but they're angry as hell, and as well they should be. You got some 10-year-old brother going at you for years and years. Your parents aren't doing anything about it. Now he's denying it. Your parents aren't doing anything. They're probably denying it too.
No.
No, I bet they didn't. Hey, Monique?
Yeah.
Can you get some therapy? Can you get some help?
I don't know.
Well, here's your choices. You have to. There's no choice. Choice A, therapy. Choice B, therapy. But listen, don't focus on your brother and getting him to admit it. I know you feel like that's going to have some closure,
No,
some
that
healing or
won't, no.
something. It's not going to do anything. You know he did it. He's denying it. Fine. You take care of yourself now.
There you go.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, boy. Listen, then, don't get pregnant, please. I don't want you mothering kids. We'll take ourselves a little break. Rosebud is our guest tonight, and when we come back, we'll talk to more of you after this. It's Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. He is Dr. Drew. Rosebud is our guest tonight. He is from American Pimp. It's a documentary which is out in theaters, and you should look for it. Rosebud is one of the people that's featured in the American Pimp movie, and we're going to hop back on the phones and speak to Mindy. Mindy?
Hi. First, I have a question for Dr. Drew, but also, actually, I wanted to first off say that I really respect your knowledge and appreciate all the time and effort that you go through to help us kids out there, I guess. But anyways, my question was that I have like a thick hymen, I think, and I'm worried about it and if there's anything I could possibly do about it.
You have a thick hymen.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know that?
Because I know my body.
But how do you know that it's not different than anyone else's?
Because like if I put like pressure on it or if I tried to like make it bigger or something, it
Like with a finger?
right, it hurts way too much that I could ever even like stand.
Okay, so some women are that way. That's very, very uncomfortable. It doesn't necessarily mean it's thick, but it is sort of painful, at least. We know that.
So is there anything I could do?
You're 17. You still have your hymen?
Yep.
We're going to send you out a T-shirt.
Wow.
You can have them surgically open. Not even surgically, just in the doctor's office. They can help release it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do they do? What do they use? A little scalpel?
Scalpel, yeah. What?
What's a hymen?
Give me my book.
That's interesting. It's funny that Rosebud asked that because he probably hasn't seen
Hoes
too
don't
many
have
of them.
hymens.
Hoes do not have hymens. Drew, open that up there. That is, it's like an eyelid for the vagina.
That you're born with, that goes away when they're first...
It gets pierced by a man, usually.
Across here.
Do we have any pictures of the hymen?
Not really.
Oh, don't show that picture, Drew. It's very offensive.
It would sort of... See that's...
It's like Tupperware for the vagina, right, Drew?
That would be closer together at birth.
For a hymen.
Yeah, that's a hymen.
All right. Hey, Mindy? So, good. You're a virgin, right?
Right.
And, yeah, see, that's how you know they're virgin, you see.
Oh, that's what's broke.
Yeah, that's what gets busted.
Oh.
Yeah. I went to school with a girl named Debbie Hyman. We called her Buster. Kids are very simple and cruel at the same time. All right, hey, Mindy, good times. You're not going to have sex for a little while? You have a guy?
Oh, well, I've had like a few boyfriends and stuff, but I figured that I really didn't want to regret having sex the first time and such, and so I figured that the longer that I waited and stuff,
Mindy,
the better.
keep going. You're right on.
Good. All right.
Enjoy.
Yes, enjoy that hymen. Danielle?
Yeah.
You're 14. What's up?
I've been having weird sexual dreams about my stepdad.
Hang on a second, Dan. I wonder if there's some sort of dietary supplements we can start giving women to strengthen the hymen.
Oh, so it becomes like impenetrable.
Yeah.
Like a Kevlar hymen.
Oh, give something
No man could make that in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it also gives them sort of an extra incentive not to go ahead with that.
Right, it becomes excruciatingly painful.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna find this. Yeah, I'll give it to your daughter too. Don't worry. I got mine. We're gonna
massive doses of B12. I think will do it. All right, Danielle, what's up? You're having sexual dreams about your stepfather?
Yeah.
Perfectly normal, perfectly healthy behavior.
Really multiple ones though, like
No.
every night.
No. Do you think you're attracted to him?
No, it's like when I have him, it's like I'm puking because he just does the sickest stuff in my dreams, and he's just like a big pervert.
What's he like in real life?
He's like this Nazi German guy. I don't even know. I never talked to him or anything.
Yeah.
He's an alcoholic.
He's alcoholic Nazi?
Yeah.
What was your
Other than that, he's a great stand-up guy, though, right?
Where's my
bourbon?
What was your biological father like?
I still talk to him sometimes, really. He's just for
He was
money.
he was a pot-smoking Prussian. It's a little different. He wore the pointy helmet.
What was he like?
weird, fat, and gross. I don't know.
Your dad, your biological father. So you've got all kinds of weird things.
Your mom's a real winner, huh?
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah. Hey, Danielle.
Yeah.
I know you're just 14.
Uh-huh.
Promise me you're not going to hate men for the rest of your life. Or love them too much. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I know this is going to screw up your antenna.
Well, that's what there is here, is that all these strange and stirred up feelings about men that she's now hit puberty with, and they're getting converted all sorts of erotic feelings.
Right.
All that anxiety and aggression and rage, it's all now being converted into these sort of erotic preoccupations.
This, by the way, just has to be a form of hell. You're a young teenage girl. Mom brings home some boozing, swastika-wearing guy who works down at the local factory and parks him on the sofa and says, here's new daddy. You're scared every time you come out of the bathroom in a towel that this guy's going to be standing out in the hallway smoking a cigarette and drinking out of a flask, you know. I mean, imagine the emotional toll that takes on you living under the same roof with that cat.
And if it starts early enough, that's who you think you are, is the person that is constantly looking out for these abusive folks.
You're like a mouse living with a cat.
Yeah.
Fear attracts, too, you know.
Huh?
Fear attracts, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, later on, that'll come into play.
Could be coming in with her, though. She could be afraid of what you were describing.
Oh, she is, yeah. I don't know. I want to talk to her for one more second. Danielle?
Yeah.
Does this guy scare you that much, or you just hate him?
I just hate him, but he's really kind of good. He's a firefighter and stuff. It's just in the last couple of years where he's been drinking a lot and yelling and stuff.
All right. Do you have any, you have a lot of friends?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Hang out with them.
Well, my mom's, really, she's protective over me, but anything I do is okay if it's in the house. Like, I can't drink anywhere else. I can't smoke weed anywhere else.
Oh, geez.
You could do all that at home?
Yeah.
Your mom is not a good parent. Sorry. That qualifies her as a bad parent.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why she's tripping, too.
Yeah. Honey, it's not that you did the heroin, it's that you did it at Cindy's house.
Yeah.
Now, if you'd done it out in the yard where I told you to do it.
That's exactly how she is.
Oh, boy. Hey,
that ain't good.
Danielle?
Yeah.
All right, listen, man. You're 14, and I know you look up to your parents and not
No
to
way.
stepdad. Okay, yes, good. They're idiots. You understand?
No.
Hang out with your friends, play on the internet in a non-sexual way.
Kicked off the internet.
Oh, boy.
I'm not even allowed on it.
Oh, good. Who kicked you off?
My mom.
All right. Why?
Oh, I gave out my phone number to my friend, but our bitchy neighbor, said I was in a chat room and gave it out or something.
All right. Hey, Danielle?
Yeah.
Can you find Jesus Christ?
No, I'm
come on.
total atheist.
Oh, no, baby.
Atheist?
Yeah. I'd like her to find Jesus Christ. I really would. I don't recommend that to all our callers, but in her case, it just sounds like she needs to go to the church and seek sanctuary or something. All right, I'm disgusted with all you parents out there. I'm so disgusted, I'm going to take a break. All right, we'll be back after this. All right, well, the end of another topsy-turvy week here on Loveline. I want to thank Rosebud for coming in.
Hey, thank you for having me here.
And as crappy as last night was, tonight was good.
Yeah, had a good night and had a good time with Rosebud. American Pimp is the name of the documentary. I recommend you all go out and see that. I want to thank Danielle for doing a great job on the phones and everything else all week. Producer Ann for spinning her web of beautiful feminism. I don't know. I'm out of superlative. I want to thank Ann for doing a great job all week, and of course, Engineer Anderson, especially with me being in New York.
I will be at the BFD in San Jose, San Francisco tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm going to introduce our friends Everclear.
Oh, good. And I also want to thank Matt, the engineer over at Westwood One in New York, for helping us out.
He's
doing
a good
great
guy.
job.
Yeah.
Again, thanks, Rosebud.
All right, thank you.
When that book comes out,
what's it called?
It's called Master of Pimpology. It's out by Frontline, and it'll be in the stores in September.
All right, well, we'll come back in September and give it a plug.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo. I banged a prostitute in a parking lot.
Well, now. This has been Loveline. The stuff expressed on Loveline is not necessarily the stuff of the staff, management, sponsors, or anyone else, including Westwood One Entertainment. Loveline is produced by Ann Wilkins Ingold. Now, please enjoy these birds.